They thought it was just a knock on the wall, but that knock became screams in the night. A little girl levitated. Furniture moved on its own, and even the police said they saw it with their own eyes. This is one of the most chilling and unsolved paranormal cases in history, the Enfield poltergeist. It all began in August 1977 in the quiet London suburb of Enfield. The Hodgson familia, single mother, Peggy, and her 4 children lived a perfectly normal life at 284 Green Street. Until one night, everything changed. Janet, just 11 years old, and her sister Margaret heard a loud, rhythmic knocking on the walls of their bedroom. At first, they thought it was just their brothers playing a prank. But when they got up to check, the room was empty. The knocks grew louder. The chest of drawers slid across the floor by itself, blocking the door. When their mother, Peggy, tried to push it back, she said it felt like an invisible force was holding it firmly in place. That single, terrifying moment was the beginning of 2 years of pure, unrelenting terror. Within days, strange things happened constantly. Furniture would move in the dead of night. Toys would suddenly fly across the room. Doors would slam shut, with no one near them. The disturbances became so loud that neighbors rushed over after hearing the family's screams, and what they saw was unbelievable objects moving without anyone touching them. Terrified, Peggy called the police. One officer arrived, walked into the living room, and saw a chair slide across the floor on its own. He was so shaken that he wrote it down in the official police report. There was no explanation, no strings, no tricks, just a chair moving with a mind of its own. As the paranormal activity escalated, the Society for Psychical Research and several journalists arrived to investigate. They set up cameras, microphones, and prepared for the unknown. What they witnessed and captured would terrify them and baffle the world. Janet, the 11-year-old girl at the center of it all, began speaking in a deep, gravelly voice. She claimed to be a man named Bill Wilkins, who had died in the house years before. Doctors examined her vocal cords, and their conclusion was chilling. A young girl physically shouldn't be able to produce a voice like that. It was physiologically impossible. Investigators recorded hours of audio, capturing the disembodied knocks, the strange voices, and the family's cries for help. They also captured some of the most famous and chilling paranormal photos in history, showing Janet seemingly levitating off her bed in the middle of the night, contorted in impossible positions. But the evidence didn't stop there. Objects were seen flying through the air as if thrown by an invisible hand. Mysterious cold spots would appear in rooms, dropping the temperature in an instant. Lights would flicker on and off. A crucifix on the wall was found twisted upside down. The house had become a carnival of fear. The Hodgson family barely slept. Janet would scream in the middle of the night, claiming something was pulling her from her bed. She described the sensation of cold, invisible hands wrapped around her ankles. Investigators themselves reported seeing shadows moving across the hallway when no one was there. The sheer intensity of the events was overwhelming. One man, who arrived at the house as a staunch skeptic, fainted after witnessing a marble float up into midair, hang there for a moment, and then vanish completely. Even the famous paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren visited the house. They claimed to have felt a dark, demonic energy unlike anything they had encountered before, suggesting something far more sinister than a simple ghost was at play. Then, after nearly 2 years of constant, unexplained phenomena, the activity slowly began to fade. It didn't end with a bang, but a whimper. Just as mysteriously as it had started, it stopped. But the questions remained. Why did it start, and why did it end? Years later, Janet admitted to faking a few minor incidents to see if the investigators would notice. They always did, but she has always sworn, to this day, that the vast majority of the events were completely real. And she isn't the only one. More than 30 witnesses, including police officers, reporters, neighbors, and paranormal experts, all said the same thing. We saw it happen. They saw things that defied logic and science. The house still stands at 284 Green Street. The Hodgson family moved out long ago, but some claim that new owners have occasionally heard the same strange knocking in the walls. Was it all an elaborate hoax, masterminded by a clever little girl? Or was something truly evil lurking in that London home? The evidence is compelling, The eyewitness accounts are terrifying, and the case remains one of the most debated hauntings of all time. So I have to ask, would you dare to spend a night inside the Enfield house? Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as chilling as I did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. We'd love to have you in our community. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.